biggest skill gap is almost teaching yourself how to constantly preemptively recognize you have a thought or a task in your mind, to put it down, to either set a reminder or put it in your calendar, or a reminder for what's in your calendar. And it has to be foreseen, otherwise it's gone. And I've had genius thoughts, even like a piece of content of like a quote that I want to put out there somewhere, and I'm like, that's easy, I'll remember it. And then an hour later, I'm like, oh, what was that thing I wanted to? I'm like, no shot, it's gone. See you later.
And that's then you have to learn like how you got to do it, and then you got to learn that not everybody does it the way you do it. So how do you help that person learn how to do it for themselves? It's all that. And so
that's the difference of like losing something or building something successful, because you just hit all the tasks that had to get done instead of letting them off and they all just fell off a cliff.
But then you have to wear each of those hats and
Yes.
switch it on and off. So like your brain is just constantly running. And I mean, the science even shows that's like when you go to switch what I'll just keep calling as hats, like you go from like, I'm doing some marketing stuff, whatever, and now I got to go to like,
a dad. Dad hat.
Some like,
Even.
anything. It's like switching what you're doing takes usually like the brain like 15 minutes of like getting there. So if now I have to write content for something, you know, it's like you really got to sit down and you want to pull out your phone and distract yourself, but it's like you just got to like do it for 15 minutes and then you'll get in the flow of that one. And you have to keep doing that. So I think that's always been really hard for me. I don't know what the answer. I think easiest is maybe just like I thought it would be a lot harder to build the culture that I think we have here, but I think it's been easier because of the people we have as staff and members. And because I think we just are very unapologetically like who we are, we attract that kind of person.
That's who you are.
Yeah, and I think it just makes for like the culture here to be so great. Like, that's way easier than I thought.
Yeah, it's funny, like learning what culture is. It's just being.
Yeah.
It's whatever that is. It's like you can't draw up a culture. It's also like recognizing when someone doesn't fit. You got to make a move. You know, if there's certain pieces that are either toxic or wrong or whatever. But it's just It's just you're you.
And I think an important piece of that is whether you want it to be or not. So even if you say like that's not part of our culture, but that's something that happens here on a consistent basis, and you're not actually squashing, then it is part of your culture. Your culture, like you said, it is. And it's like there has to be like a defense of the culture too.
True. It could be positive or negative, I guess, and that
and you have to be very like, we don't allow these things to happen. Even something like this is, I don't know how much this crosses over, but like we don't program burpees. I will refuse to ever program a burpee.
Same.
I think it's the most ridiculous exercise unless you are training for a competition that requires burpees.
Arnold, do you want to do burpees at 8 well?
No.
And like to me, it's like one of the people here were doing programming and they wrote burpees in, and I guess like that's on me for not like drawing that line. I remember seeing somebody do it, and I started like mildly. I'm like, why the fuck is this person doing burpees? I was like, are they just doing it on their own? Do they think that's a good
funny,
exercise?
right?
Is that in the program? And it's like, then that had
where
to be
does that fit in the program? Do you know why'd you do it? Where does that fit in your program? What not? But that also goes back to saying like, also preemptively being like, this is now an officialized listing of our culture.
Yeah.
This is what we do. This is what we don't do. But then that's also a reflection of you, me having to train coaches. I went through that this year of like, what makes me me? What makes me program the way I do, talk the way I do in a session? Why the hell do people want to train with me?
Yeah, it is.
Right? I'm a dick, but I'm like a charming dick sometimes. I'm like, well, how do I convey that to someone to be in an environment? Well, it's like maybe that's just how they need to be and learn their voice as a coach, but these 80 other things are what makes the business run. And then it's like, do this, but don't do this. But only sometimes you can do this if you think it fits once you're an expert at doing this. And it's like, okay.
It is. You know? I was thinking about the other day when I was writing programming. I'm like, all right, so like I'm redoing our SOPs on like how we write programs. I'm like, every decision I made is easier now too, because I just like screen record myself and talk my thoughts out while I do it, and then throw it into like Claude and be like, all right, tell me why, like I was doing that. You know, what was the takeaways from that? But you have to kind of deconstruct like, why am I doing this? Like, well, I know this person has back pain, but they also really like this. So, you know, for back pain, that's a bigger thing here. So we got to make sure we're addressing that. And all right, we're going to go unilateral, but we're going to do it this way, like offset, because I also know that they like it when it's a little bit different. You know, it's like recognizing those silly little things.
Yeah, but getting the brain to think that way too for someone that doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Right.
And just being able to write out then a very simplified, like, this is where you start. Here's where you could tweak it. If you know that the member likes this, do X, Y, Z unless it goes against the more primary issue that you're attacking. And then you have to like understand how you categorize these things in your mind so that you can then label them on a piece of paper that then somebody else can read and understand. You know, which is, you can go as deep as you want to on that, and that could be diminishing returns, but
for sure
has to happen in some capacity.
Cool, man. What are some, I don't know how to ask this in a way that you'll understand, but like, what are some hacks you have? Do you have any hacks? Because I remember, this is a specific thing I have. We were on a sports field back in 2017.
Okay.
You were like intermittent fasting, and you're like, I'm like, oh, what do you eat? And you got Chipotle, right? And you're like, oh, it's a burrito. It's my one meal of the day. It's got everything I need in it. I was like, what? And I just remember I was like, that's so simple. It's absolutely stupidly simple.
Yeah, the burrito bowl plus burrito
just,
trick.
Yeah, and it like just makes sense. So I feel like you live that way and you have these things. What are like a couple of hacks that you have throughout the day that you throw in that you might not even notice?
Caffeine,
thinking
Adderall,
about
and Zins, for sure.
Yeah?
That's just it.
How do you use those?
All the time. As much as you can. No. Hacks? I don't know. Hacks for what specifically? Like business?
It could be an easy meal, an easy like food hack when you're moving.
Oh, I mean,
it could be
food hack is simple. I tell everybody here, it's like not everybody has to do this because other people like doing like more involved prep. But to me, it's just like cook 2 high protein, lean meats, if you eat meat, in big bulk, put them in big Pyrexes, and then just have microwavable rice and veggies. And then a ton of different sauces. And like that is like 99% of my meals. It's just like pick up a protein, microwave this, microwave that, put it all on one plate.
Done.
Screw anybody that says microwaved veggies or whatever are unhealthier. It's like the dumbest thing. It's like it's just still veggies.
Yeah. If it's frozen too, it's could be
more
better
nutrients.
for you. More nutrients, and it's flash frozen. Fruit also.
Yeah.
Which I learned like probably a year and a half.
If somebody wants to make the argument that it's like, well, you're microwaving it in a plastic bag that it comes in, it's like, brother, we're past that as society. Like we got it in our testicles at this point.
Yeah, we're
like,
breathing microplastics.
Babies are born with it. Yeah. I mean, that's like a good food one. I think.
Business hack. When you're
business hack.
I'll go more specific.
Yeah,
when you're struggling to work and you're trying to get creative and juices flowing.
Yeah.
What's something that you do? And then on the contrary, when you know you have to stop working, you should for your own well-being. What's something?
To answer the second one first, I found that just ingesting cannabis helps me stop working. But the first one,
don't smoke weed, kids.
Yeah. Well, the drinkable cannabis drinks are great too.
Are they really?
Amazing, and they sell them right across the street. 5 milligrams does the trick. Dude, delicious, and it's good for you. So then the other one was, how do you start the work? For me, a lot of it is like putting the containers on myself. Like a lot of times it's like literally put my phone in a different room on a charger, bring my laptop into wherever I'm working, go personal focus mode. I like to start, if I can, to like, if I'm like starting work in something, the first type of work I'll try to do is something creative because I know that gets me really excited. So if it's like, all right, I know I have to design this flyer and do these other tasks, I'm gonna put the design first because it's like, I'll just make sure it's not like taking me hours and I'm getting too nitty-gritty. So like, let me at least do like a half hour of just like playing around with something to like be in now stoked mode, and then I'll do that.
Stoked mode.
Yeah, or like programming is another one that I find as a creative outlet. Like one of the first things I do in here, if I don't have a immediate like appointment, is I just start doing programs because I'm like, I just love doing it and it's like fun for me. It's like a riddle that you're trying to solve, and then I'll get into like, okay, now I gotta like do an SOP or start charting out something or having meetings or whatever. But like that creative work always gets me to get into that zone.